wrapping up, another summit was getting underway. Venezuela's Hugo Chavez hosted the second South America-Africa summit, which gave birth to a new bank meant to serve as a counterweight to the International Monetary Fund. Perhaps the most talked about guest was Muammar Gaddafi. Chavez expressed great admiration for the Libyan leader, who was on his first visit to Latin America since coming to power 40 years ago. Our correspondent François-Xavier Freeland brings us this report on the developing relationship between the two heads of two oil-rich nations.
Muammar Gaddafi received a hero's welcome when he arrived on Venezuela's Margarita Island. The Libyan leader was almost handed the keys to the city last weekend. At the airport, pro-Chavez activists, likely brought in for the occasion, sported T-shirts bearing his likeness, among them a convert to Islam.
I think Mr.
Gaddafi is a very important man, a revolutionary, a socialist. He has a strong ideology. He comes with other ideas from another continent, with another culture across which he's brought in Islam.
At last weekend's African-South American summit, crowds waited for Gaddafi with an almost religious fervor, lining the roads on the way from the airport to show their support. After the leader of the Libyan revolution set up his trademark tent in the middle of the Hilton Hotel, even the limelight-loving Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez excused himself from the press to greet him personally.
The path to saving the world, to saving humanity starts here. Well then, good night to you all. I have to go and see Gaddafi. I think he's over there. Good night.
Books written by Gaddafi were being given away, and the leader's image was everywhere. Back in the conference hall, the two leaders were acting like old friends, smiling and complimenting each other, at least when they weren't launching into anti-imperialistic diatribes.
It's a friendship each one has for the other. It's quite a normal relationship. Libya has been considered as part of the axis of evil, and so Venezuela has voluntarily made itself a part of this quote-unquote axis of evil. President Chavez said it during his speech at the United Nations, so it's a way of saying that multipolarism, that new southern geopolitics, are making alliances that aren't at all traditional.
But not everyone's a fan of those new alliances, like this Margarita local who wasn't disguising his discontent.
Dictators, dictators, dictators. Gaddafi and the other one on the island, they're all terrorists.
Even so, over the course of the weekend, Chavez and Gaddafi succeeded in rallying many of the South American and African leaders to their socialist and anti-colonialist rhetoric, including moderates like Mali's Amadou Touré. It seems as though a new southern partnership has been born, perhaps even an ideological counterweight to the Western world, which is something both Gaddafi and Chavez have been calling for.